JB here. JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. Wednesday, March 19th, about 3:16 on this Fed day. Talk really quick about the market, some names I'm looking at, and go from there. I just turned off the Fed Chair Powell Q&A session. It's his best job that I recall, and I haven't listened to every single one of his pressers since becoming Fed chair. But considering what's going on in terms of uncertainty and the tariffs, and coming off what happened with the pandemic and so on and so forth, you would think this is the opportunity to really put some cracks uh, in the Fed's plans, right? And he was littered and peppered. I put on the watch list this morning, yesterday too, peppered around the consumer confidence. They keep mentioning inflation, grocery bills, and it's just. I mean, some of the questions are almost like borderline comical. Like the one that just came out, uh, she just asked if the Fed is really ready to put the economy in recession to break the back of inflation. But it's like, where have you been? I mean, we're not anywhere near where we were in the crazy 2 years ago. So, I mean, you don't want to dismiss it, but it's like, they've been there, done that. Anyways, and a lot of these questions, like they keep bringing up the mission consumer confidence, which is intermediate data. It's preliminary data. There's not the full March data yet. And he's like, yeah, we're maybe the soft data, which is just the surveys, which doesn't mean much, right? Someone could say, oh my gosh, cars are so expensive, or eggs are so expensive, and it shows up in the survey. But the hard data, the unemployment rate, all the growth, well, GDP growth, we'll see how that comes in for Q1. But all that other data is coming strong, the hard data. So, I anyway, he's done a really good job spinning it. And we'll see. The SPY's back where it was on Monday. Well, got a little higher. We got up to the 200-day moving average there on the SPY before pulling back. Just now we're down at 569.78. I don't know if this is the start of a new move to the upside. I talked about this morning too, the stair stepping to the upside. So we'll love to see continuation tomorrow. I don't know if we're out of the woods just yet, because we still have uncertainty, right? There's no doubt about it. I mean, even Fed Chair Powell can't say without a 100% guarantee that we aren't headed to a recession, or inflation won't soar on the tariffs, or growth won't really come substantially down. So all that together, I mean, just going to be an environment where you got to pick and be picky, be quick to exit, be open to both sides, and then I think just watch the support resistance levels, which is kind of helped be a guide, right? So for me, that 563 continues to be. Now we're at the 200-day moving average. It's 570.90. Well, actually, it's 571.04 right now, the 200-day. So those are kind of support resistance. So I would love to see it close over that 571 into the end of the day. I don't know if we'll get it. But I mean, if you could script a better presser for Fed Chair Powell, I think that was it. I talked about the balance sheet. They're going to start to scale back some of the rolling off starting in April. I don't know if that has anything to do a little bit with the rally, but I think certainly was able to ease concerns. Sometimes I'm worried when he gets on and does his presser after the Fed statement, because sometimes the market is rallying and then he says something, the market reverse. So, yeah, so I was hoping he wasn't going to speak, but he actually did a good job. So, and that's kind of the overall. We don't really have much else this week. I think PCE data on Friday. So I think it's PCE data. Something comes out Friday. But for now, maybe some chop consolidation here into the close. We'll love to see it close over 571. And then, tomorrow we've seen reversals. I can't rule out some crazy, some headline, or then overnight, or what have you. So I'm not going to sit here and say, we got the green light and the market's just going to soar from here. We could certainly be back to what we did on Tuesday, which is just reverse all the gains. But considering what he was able to spin, at least it alleviated a move down to 540 on the SPY today, right? Or some crazy sell-off. But we still have 40 minutes, so I should probably not count the chickens. All right, so that's kind of the overall market. And then take a look at the VIX. Still, it's under 20. It was down 10% just a little bit ago, down 9%. I think it's down 10% on a week. Just take a look. And I'm trying to get so I can get the charts up if you're on the audio. I'll see if I can do that this week. Just tough to get everything together. But take a look at the VIX. I mean, just it's below pretty much all the peaks we've had in 2025, and considering where the market's been, again, I don't know if that means fear's coming out. Maybe it's a trap, right? Like that little Star Wars when they're going into the Death Star. Look out, it's a trap. I hope that's not the case, but anyway, time will tell. So that's that. So I continue to keep things small. the thing is on the put hedges, they're going to get less expensive as we bounce, right? So if we do start breaking support towards the end of the week, there'll certainly be some opportunities for, if there are opportunities for put hedges, or if we break support, those will be less expensive. So when they're less expensive and it goes the right direction, they become more profitable. So that's kind of I guess a bonus. So if we do fall, at least the premiums come out some of the put hedges. All right, so that's overall markets and individual names. I had DELL on the watch list this morning. I was talking about on the rant yesterday afternoon. The sympathy trade is on the GTC conference with NVIDIA. Stock was kind of churning around in the morning, and then finally, once it got up to 98, I went and got those spec calls within, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. I was able to close them out for 100%, and uh, then it pulled all the way back down to 98, and then it bounced with the Fed. So, it was down at 97.70 at 2 o'clock, all the way up to $100, break over that 100 threshold, and now it's here at 99.57. The unfortunate thing is because only 2 days to expiration, the premiums are actually less than they were at a lower price early in the day. But I'll continue to hold those into tomorrow. You look at the chart, and I'm going to say it's going to gap fill up to 108. I think it's 108.75 is the gap at the end of February, but certainly I think maybe trades to 103, 104 before the end of the week. If that happens, the rest of the calls will be even more multi-bags. So good one there. And then I was looking for some other names, and Shopify was running at the open. It's a name I've been watching on both sides over the last couple of weeks. And you can see that huge pull from highs since the middle of February. It's pretty much since its earnings, and its earnings were phenomenal. Some of it has to do with, I guess, the tariff situation in Canada. I don't know, because it's Canada-based companies. So either way, so they had news after the close yesterday that they were going to go from the New York Stock Exchange and list on the Nasdaq. We saw that with PLTR. I'm not sure if that's going to be the new craze, how to get your stock to rally. But I mean, it looked oversold to begin with, so it was breaking over 100. I was looking for another trade. I was possibly looking at XYZ, and now we're down to 568 on the SPY. Hold. So I went and got those spec lottos. It's had a history of these wild swings, especially Thursday and Friday. So I'll continue to hold those. I think if there's a bounce, it can trade up near 107, 108, if not beyond. So that was kind of the thought process there on Shopify. So that's the good. Here's the bad, and the bad is Intuit and Baidu. So Intuit was not Intuit, excuse me. Intel was good at the start of the week. It was able to lock those 26s in for some nice gains. But then I went and rolled out to the April strikes yesterday. Probably hindsight, maybe I should have been a little more patient, but needless to say, selling off today down 7%, not even bouncing with the market. But pull out the chart and you look at the daily. I mean, it's given back a day and a half of gains, all the way from 19 to 27, back down to 19 mid-March, back up to 26. I'm hoping this time it can hold. 200-day there is 23.85, so maybe if it can hold, consolidate. I still think it heads up into the 28s and beyond in the coming weeks, so I'll continue to hold my strikes. I'm not going to add anything more just yet. And then Baidu, same with Baba. These China ADRs just sold off after the open. Baba is green, but it hasn't rallied as much this week as Baidu has. Baidu has given up 2.5 days of gains today, down nearly 4%. Still looking to add some strikes. I almost added some later data strikes yesterday, so thankfully I didn't. But I'll continue to look for opportunities to play that one for upside. I don't think it's anything more than just some profit taking. That's Baidu. And then XYZ, right? Disappointing. Had those 60 strikes. I sold those on some weakness Monday morning. And then here it is, hit 62.43. So those would have been 5-6 bag already. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. Had a plan, stuck with it. I was actually looking at the 63s when I sold those. Those were 17 cents. I want to look what those are now. Earlier today, I was looking at the 64s. Those were 20 cents. Those shouldn't be 20 cents right now. They'll probably be just a little bit more. Let's see what the 64s are, because I haven't looked. Oh, you know what I do? I keep putting square in the ticker. 64s at 21 by 26. So maybe a name I'll visit tomorrow if there's continuation. I'm trying to think of some other things here. VIX still under 20. TripAdvisor almost up to $15 just a little while ago. I'll continue to be patient there, but at some point, if it breaks over 15, I might look to add some June strikes, which are getting a little more expensive as it gets higher. Restoration Hardware. You know what? Unfortunately, that pincher on RH, and I was talking about that last week, missed it on the way down, and then you look how tight this pincher is, and here it is up 6% today. Tough to do follow through on that one, but maybe tomorrow, depending on what the premiums look like, if the market has continuation. Yeah, and I think that's it, folks. Have a great afternoon. I'll be back on audio. 35 minutes to the close. Let's hope we can get some some hodor here, and the market could hold up. S&P is up 1.25%, right at 568. We'll have to see it close over 571, but maybe we won't get that till tomorrow. Let's have a great day, folks. Rock and roll.